welcome to the horror show. I'm Susie Slaughter.
I'm Marcia Parker, and today we are reviewing Lesbian Vampire Killers. This was a Patreon request by Media Kraken, and we were dubbed the winners to get to watch this film.
Meaning we had literally no choice.
Yeah, both Cecil and Jaime were like, it feels weird if we watched it and reviewed it without you guys, so we just did it. I don't know. So anyways, Susie, what's your overall thoughts?
Overall thoughts is that I feel like it was a mashup between Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Shaun of the Dead, and a porno.
Yes.
So if you like all those things, you'll really enjoy this movie.
Yes.
Marcia, what are your overall thoughts?
There were things about this movie, and I fell asleep 3 times while watching. This
True
movie.
story. It really did happen.
I don't know if it's just a testament of the film or just I'm exhausted, but I wasn't really that tired when I sat down to watch this. So I mean, it was visually interesting. There's definitely some interesting choices about this movie. But yeah, the story wasn't right there. So it definitely was not something that I would watch again.
No, absolutely not. So, in case you're wondering, this story is about what else? Lesbian vampires and vampire killers. Lesbian vampire killers, sorry. So it starts out this guy and this girl, they're obviously in a relationship, they're breaking up. The woman is very controlling, and the guy who gets broken up with and his best friend are like, let's go on an adventure, let's get your mind off of everything. So they throw a dart to a random place, and he said that's where we're gonna go. So they go to this place, it's very out in the country, and immediately when they show up, there's so much wrong, from the van full of sorority looking girls and then going into the actual pub place itself. So many things, there are red flags, and then the story, basically, it just escalates from there. So let me just get back really quick to the Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Shaun of the Dead, and before I go into any more, like, there's a lot of just ridiculous things. When I say Scott Pilgrim versus the World, it has that text, and with every movement has a sound effect with it. Shaun of the Dead, that kind of, those cutaways, the acting, which is a bit over the top. And then a porn, because the story is not interesting, and it's just so boobs. Yes, it's so random. Like, I can see someone, like I was telling Cecil, someone, maybe if I saw this when I was younger, this came out in 2009, perhaps when I was younger, and I'm really stretching it, because I can see how people would like this movie, and they were, even in the beginning with the credit, they started opening, I was like, okay, maybe this isn't going to be so bad, because there was good, production behind it and everything. So but yeah, if you like frat boy, you will enjoy this. I think that kind of slapstick horror kind of, it's
very
mess.
Convenient horror, because the backstory was like, you have this lesbian vampires queen that was taking over the whole countryside, and this medieval baron who was part of the religious quest or whatever, some sort of religious quest, like he was after her, he was gonna kill her, and then she takes his wife, so then he's like, oh man, and then he comes back and like
oh man, that's exactly
oh man, and then he gets his sword. And that's supposed to be made, he builds a sword made to, like, defeat her. And then he goes to kill her and stops, and she throws a curse at him, which is, like, the longest curse I've ever had.
Yes.
Like, you're about to kill somebody and they're running a curse. I'm just gonna wait for you to finish casting this curse before cutting off your head. Whatever, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, porno story, like, really trying to push something that isn't there.
Yeah. So like the way the curse runs is that when the girls turn 18, they turn into lesbian vampires in the town until the last person of his descent shows up and resurrects her and then has to kill her for the curse to be broken. So that is one of the guys from the very beginning, the guy that gets his heart broken in the beginning, and a really horrible woman. is his girlfriend, whatever that was about. But yeah, so he's the descent, and that's how they ended up there, and so on and so forth. And that is the story, and you just kind of have to go with it because that's what it is.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so let's just go let's get the acting out of the way.
Porno. Over the top.
Yeah.
Porno. Names. Judy. Trudy.
Hootie.
No, really.
Yeah.
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 No, that was Trudy.
Oh.
Okay, so to give you, the names.
No.
Jimmy.
There's a lot of them.
Fletch.
Yep.
Judy. Trudy.
Yeah.
And then Lottie.
Yeah.
And there's other ones, and there really isn't, you know what I mean? Again, the thought process really isn't there. So, yeah, the acting, it was like we were saying, it was like Pilgrim, but the writing wasn't there. So, like,
no. I mean, I'm sure these people were very talented. However, when you're trying to be somebody else's movie, it doesn't always work.
See, the thing that gave me hope was James Corden.
Yeah.
That, when I saw him, I was like, oh shit.
And he was the most enjoyable part.
Yeah, and he was great. But then I found out, I was like, wow, if they got him, you know, and there was good production value. So I thought, you know, okay, it's good. But then I found out it was made in 2009 before his career kind of took off. So that makes sense. But seeing that, I hold a lot of hope. And he was the only thing that kind of kept me interested.
Yeah.
And even then, I thought it fell short. Because like you said, it's someone else's movie. I think he did the best that he could with what he was given.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, everything was way over the top. It wasn't. I've seen worse. Definitely have seen worse. But it just wasn't. It wasn't jiving. The acting wasn't that great. It didn't fit with the movie, I felt. And then when you go into the way it was shot, it was very shot beautiful. There's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of production value in this. Like they put a lot of money in filming it. And effects.
This is the thing, like, so they obviously had a lot of money. I didn't think that they utilized what they had in the best way.
Yeah.
I don't know how they were able to get such a budget with this, because obviously, like I said, it was there. It was very much there, because even the practical effects that were there were very, very intensely like, wow, this looks real. This actually looks really good. So, but some of the things again that they use. I'll give you a little spoiler right now. There's a scene, you know, there's a priest, he has a cross, and somehow the cross, when he goes like this, it has this like
beam,
this wave of like, I don't even know what to call it, like a sonic boom type of effect, which was cool, but it doesn't make sense, you know, and it looked really good. Like the computer graphics looked really good, but
except for when you got to the vampire stuff, that was kind of shitty. Like when you had the vampire in the fog, and
I mean that was very like tropey, you know.
Like, and it was so the CGI was like, I mean, obviously there's a lot of CGI, but there's a lot of practical in this too. But yeah, like some of the CGI on it, I was like, really, like you ran out of money. You're putting too much money.
Or they put the money in the wrong places. Things like that. Like I told you about the cross, where it's way overly done. It did not need to be that way. Like there's no explanation for it whatsoever why the cross does that. So that's something that they could have put somewhere else, I feel.
The other thing, we'll get into the practical effects on the movie, because there was a lot of practical, but I don't know whose choice it was to make the vampires full of this white gooey substance that reminds you of something that comes out of male parts. Yes, we're talking semen, people. Explosive, dripping semen.
So,
everywhere.
like I said, porno. Like there's no reason for it, no rhyme or reason for it, other than that. You know what's funny
is
that I'm
disgusting
so used to,
and offensive.
Yes, like blood and gore. That made my stomach kind of churn. Like just the what? I don't know. It was gross. It was just
so gross. So
Jesus.
Gross.
Yeah. So if you're expecting the traditional way that vampires die, there's nothing traditional about this at all.
No.
nothing. So
they're like, hey, let's just make it like they're lesbians, but they're full of like semen. What?
See, and that's what I'm saying. Back to what I said. If I feel like I was in a very young teenage boy or frat boy who's like, oh my god, you gotta check out this movie, bro. Like, it's so random that maybe in my younger years I would have enjoyed it because it's so random. But I'm older and we've been exposed too much that we love random movies, but this is just too much. It makes no fucking sense.
No. Sorry, it put me to sleep. Man, what I was gonna say is like I didn't read the reviews, but I was looking at different ratings. So like Rotten Tomatoes, it got like a 5. Like iTunes, it's 5 out of 10. Sorry, and then like iTunes was like way up there. It was like almost like 4 out of 5 for iTunes, and I'm all like, and then the YouTube, it's on like a 3. So I'm like, I have no idea what to expect. So you can see like there was money put behind it, and there is a market for this movie.
Absolutely,
was not us.
No.
Just was not us. And I do appreciate the things that they did well, especially when you're talking about the sound effects. The sound effects were funny and cool and appropriate, except for some parts it was a little much. I was like, oh my god.
It was a bit okay, but I have to give it to
when we got into the drippy parts.
Really spot on.
It was spot on.
I will give them that. It did make me like cringe, like, oh my god, are you fucking serious? Someone really did pay attention to that. I will give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy it. I felt it was a bit much, but whoever did that, they really went above and beyond. Even like with a hand like wave, it was like whoosh, you know what I mean? Like it was really on it. So
I thought it was fun, and then until it got to be like the really, really gross scenes, and then they're just like covered in vampirism, and you're like, and he's just moving around, you just see her squish, drip, and then he touches somebody, and it's like, oh god, it sounded so gross and so nasty. So nasty. But so I don't know, is there anything else you really feel like we missed or you want to talk about on this adventure that we just traveled through?
I don't know. Like I said, a part of me really did want to enjoy it because I felt like the story could have been done better. I feel like this could have been a really good story had it not been called Lesbian Vampire Killers. And you know what I mean?
They really like try to focus on that aspect of it, and to me, and I don't know if it's just because I'm like, it's just so offensive. Like, not that, you know,
I don't think it's offensive. I think it's just it's gross. It's just gross. It's not even. It's just like, really, you know what I mean? Like, did you have to do that? You didn't have to do that, but you did. Yeah. So it's kind of
like what I thought was offensive was just, I think it was just the semen everywhere. That to me, that was offensive. Like to my eyes and ears.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, how fucking dare you make me watch this kind of thing?
Like, yeah. Okay. Like, why did you have to like?
I'm just trying to clarify that.
Oh, like, yeah, sorry.
Oh, you made it look like a male, like, fucking... Okay, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was offensive. Yes, how fucking... You have the audacity to make this movie, and I had to sit through it and fucking watch it. Yes, how fucking dare you? I'm offended in that sense.
I feel... Yeah, I just don't feel like this movie was
not
for me.
No, not for me.
For me. I mean, and
there's definitely a market, like you said.
And I wanted to like it, too, because it does have, like, some of those, like attributes that I've liked in other movies, and that was kind of fun and quirky, and I'm like, okay, like this maybe, you know, like something is gonna give, and it just, I don't know, and it just wasn't enough.
Right, so that's what I was saying. The Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Shaun of the Dead, I love those movies both, and they had both of those aspects. I just think that they really felt short. I felt like this could have been done in a completely different way. They, like I said, they had the money. But I don't think it was perhaps in the right hands. I don't know the people who made it. Maybe they wanted it to be this way. Like I said,
geared towards the front. Funny.
Huh?
Maybe they thought it was funny. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of funny, like, comedy movies, but this was like borderline porno. I could see more of a porno with like, oh, I like Shaun of the Dead and Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, like that's the only thing. Base.
Yeah, the only thing that they were missing was the actual sex.
Exactly. Like, that's how it is, the storyline, how they talk to each other.
If they had sex in this movie, it would be straight up. A horror porno.
Yeah, that's how it was. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like they really missed the mark because they had a lot of money in it. It could have been a really good movie, but that as the tone throughout the whole movie.
It was too heavy on the sexual like objectiveness of the females, and I think that's what I'm like trying to get across about when being offended by that.
Oh yeah, and the girls like what you're saying, like who the fuck dresses like that? Obviously, that's what it's the skippy outfits.
Yeah, it's funny for like a second, but then they made them dumb, and then I don't know.
It was too porno.
Like, if you're gonna go heavy sexualize on the women, then you have to balance it with brains, because you can have one really stupid one, but I think you gotta have more substance on the female.
It's only
side.
it's just, and even the girl who was smart, who knew about the legend, they made her basically into like a sexy Velma.
Yeah.
So it's just like there's no substance to it. They probably weren't gearing towards an audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They probably have their audience.
No. This was not for us.
But not for us.
Not for
so
the women,
we
so.
really don't understand why Cecil and Jaime made us watch it. Like,
They
don't get me
I
wrong,
think
I
they-
like girl and girls on
I feel like they would
but like
I feel like they would have liked it, just because I don't know. It's just to me it just felt too.
it felt all the elements
misogynist.
were there, but I felt like the wrong person. I felt like
I don't know.
like
It wasn't
someone
for us.
who rhymes
Sorry.
with rump got a hold of this movie.
He's gonna totally not be okay. Let's
just
end
feel-
it there.
okay.
Let's just end it there. It wasn't for us.
No.
If you can watch it. It's hella expensive to find. Like if you go on iTunes, it's not that bad, but everywhere else, they like usually movies are between like $2 to $3 to rent. If it's a new one, it's like $6 or something. They like everywhere was like $10 to rent this. And I'm
Which
like,
is crazy.
why?
To me.
Why? And I don't know if it's because of the title. I don't know. But
I don't know.
we should probably wrap it up.
Yep. Okay.
But watch it yourselves and let us know what you think. Media Kraken, tell us why you picked this movie and for us to watch. Defend yourself.
Yes.
In the comments. Yeah. So you want to go ahead and close it out, Suze?
If you would like to become one of our Patreon, there is a link in the description box below, and we know that you do, so you can suggest movies like this
Or others.
or others for us to watch.
Yeah.
But until next time, I've been Susie Von Slaughter,
I'm Marcia Parker.
and remember,
Stay
stay scared.
Thank you for watching the horror show.